those of you who are on a journey to be positive only, I'm so sorry to tell you that that's not possible. Now, instead of getting all upset about it and feeling bad, you should be excited because that takes a lot of pressure off of you. Because if you're positive all the time, uplifting all the time, that would be unsustainable, like I stated, but also very exhausting. And so, this is something I want you guys to also think about. Whenever you hear people preach positivity all day, all the time, and positivity only, a lot of those people are trying to overcompensate for their negativity. They feel like if they just talk about it, that nobody will see that they're human and have negative emotions. And I always say that whenever you embody something, spirituality, kindness, anything, you don't really have to go announcing it because it just radiates off of your body. So be wary of those people who are always talking about it and making it sound like that's the only way to be a good person, is if you only have positivity, because there's a lot of good gems, opportunities for growth in the negative emotions, but we don't always sit with them long enough to lean into the lessons in them. And I feel like if more people were comfortable sitting in those negative emotions and getting to the root cause of why they're even present, there would be a lot of good things in there. And also realizing that even though you may have a negative emotion, that you're not stuck with that. As soon as you have a negative emotion and you sit there long enough to figure out why you have that, you feel, you process, you release or transmute it, you are able to then put on something more positive, which ends up balancing it out. You're not supposed to be emotionless. And I think sometimes people also think when they're healed or during their healing process, it's getting rid of something always, and it's not always like that, because you can still be healing and can still be hurt by certain things. It doesn't mean you act like it doesn't happen, and being healed definitely doesn't mean you're emotionless. Being positive also doesn't mean you're emotionless and nothing bothers you and you're like, oh, I'm positive, I'm untouchable. No, it's a lie. It's being able to have the power to sit with your emotions, understand them, and transmute them, and realize that they don't have to be the reason why you react. When you go through your emotions and you process through them, you're able to respond a lot better. So, when people are preaching positive only, they're not being authentic because they're trying to deny themselves as a person. You're going to have both. Just think about, like, there's duality, light and dark, yin and yang, positive and negative. You can't get away from that it isn't exempt from your emotions. You have to have them all. And when you get to a certain level, you'll appreciate the spectrum of emotions that you'll have. You'll love that you have negative emotions because you realize that they can be transmuted into something positive. You realize that positive is great and that does help you live longer than suppressing your emotions. So once you get this, you'll feel a lot better, because unfortunately a lot of spiritual teachers and positive influencers intentionally or unintentionally make you feel bad for not being able to do the impossible, which is to be positive all the time. I mean, that to me doesn't even sound flattering. I want to be able to have a full range of emotion, and especially feel my emotions, if that's going to be a big area for me to grow in. And because I'm talking about this topic, I'm going to actually combine two videos in one, and I'm going to introduce you guys to this concept of a spiritual bypasser, which is somebody who talks spirituality or even positivity, and they are only book smart. They went to all the retreats, but they have not themselves been in the position or in the place or being open and receptive to doing the work that they're reading about. And so they can call themselves self-spiritual, and you'll never doubt it or guess it, because they'll just keep throwing the book knowledge at you, all the retreats that they go to, who they're connected to. And you will know the difference between somebody who has done the work and is doing the work than somebody who just preaches and tells you what you need to do, because a lot of times those people will lack empathy and understanding. They really won't harp on or encourage you to go through those negative emotions. They'll kind of judge you or make you feel bad for having them, and just kind of tell you, oh, they shouldn't be present, just ignore them, just kind of brush them away as if it's that easy. When it's like, wait, that's all you've been doing all this time is avoiding your emotions. So why are you trying to pay somebody to teach you how to do the same thing? It doesn't work like that. So lean into your emotions, love your emotions, and honestly, it's like people think that spiritual teachers and people who speak positivity a lot, they're not a human. Like, a lot of us are down to earth. We still like to have like the normal pleasures. Like, so I can have a spiritual practice and I help people with their emotions, but that doesn't mean I'm free from anger. That doesn't mean I'm free from shame, guilt, or frustration. I'm still in the process myself, learning better to react less and respond more. But this is a lifelong journey. This isn't something that you can get necessarily overnight. So, spiritual teachers and leaders are humans as well. And you can still learn from these types of people because they're actively putting in the work to show you that it's possible. And, over time, it does get better, and you realize, like, wow, I have more power over my life than I thought. At first, I didn't think I had power over my emotions. I just thought I had to be reactive. But once you realize, no, you can actually take time and think about your emotions and take your power back and create different belief systems that make you less angry, you start feeling really excited. So I don't want this video to get too long, but hopefully you stay out of the trap of thinking positive only, to avoid your negative emotions, for judging yourself for having negative emotions. Babes, that just means you're human.